Hi there, Stampers. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations, and I'm here today with a really fun card that if you saw the picture of, you might have thought it's going to be complicated and take us a while, but it's not. And I'm going to show you how easy this is to do. This is done in a pink version. This is in Bubble Bath, one of our new colors, but we're going to do it in Balmy Blue for a boy's card. So we have one of each. And I can't wait to show you. So let's get down to the desk and get this card started. Okay, so here is our card. And like I said, it was really fun. You can either slide the ribbon off or you can untie it. And then this part pops out. You could have your message written. But then this part stands up like baby blocks. So how cute is that? So it does say baby. And when it's all popped up, it's a great card to display. I love the kind of cards that they can set out and appreciate for, a while after they've received it. Sophie and Pixie are both upstairs. My husband's home from work already, so they went up and grabbed his lap while he takes his nap. He starts at like 5 in the morning, so he's up at 4. It's nuts. Yeah, I don't get up before the sun. That's like my basic rule. Okay, so we're going to be using the Classic Letters stamp set. This is one of our online exclusives, and what that means is it's not pictured in any catalogs. Stampin' Up is starting to release products kind of once a quarter that are not going to be featured in any of our catalogs. They're just going to be available online. That way they can release them, decide if they're going to be popular or not. If they're not, they'll probably not restock them. If they are super popular, then we're hoping they will. Like the Irresistible Blooms came out in March, and it has stuck around. And we were all very happy with that. And I'm thinking that this pickup truck, I'm hoping it sticks around. Stampin' Up released this morning at like midnight a whole new slew of new online products. The open sleigh, which you may have seen people do, and then there's a little pickup truck with a punch called Trucking Along, and then there was a floral set and some gorgeous paper, and it's all online. You can take a look at it there. You can still order through me if you wanted to call and place your order with me personally. That's still possible, but they're just not going to be featured, in a catalog. They also have refreshed the clearance rack. They have released a new kit. Oh, and they started bonus days. And there's one more thing. There were 5 things they did today. It's kind of a little nuts. So hopefully you got my newsletter and you're up to date on all that's going on. Bonus days is when they're going to offer a $5 coupon for every $50 that you spend this month, and you can use the coupon next month. But anyway, so that's this online exclusive idea. Kind of got off on a tangent, but trying to keep you guys informed. We're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. Now mine was, let's see, 8.5, right? Let's see, 8.5 by 8. Yeah. Yes, it was 8.5 by 8. There we go. And when I put it in the trimmer, I went ahead and I scored, actually it was this way, I believe, at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. And then I turned it 90 degrees, and then I cut off 4 inches and then cut that 4.5. So it was at 2 and 4. So these are separate. So that's the base of our card. Okay, does that seem pretty simple? 8.5 by 8. With the 8.5 across the top, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. Then we're going to rotate it. We're going to cut off 2 inches and 2 inches and then be left with 4 inches. Okay. These are going to be the little cubes on the side of the tower. And then this is going to be the tower. And that's as complicated as this thing really gets, because from here on out, we're kind of basically decorating. Now, a lot of people will choose to decorate them while this is still all flat. So you can choose as to whether or not you wanted to, excuse me, put your layers on while it's flat. You could be, you know, thinking about it going, okay, this is going to be the front of the card. So I want these two to have the DSP and then the one on the inside. But I kind of like it together. I don't know why. I have to think about it a little more to remember which ones are going to be the ones I'm putting DSP on. I suppose what I could do is take a pencil, and once I play with it and I go, okay, well, this is going to be the front. So I want here and here. And then I'm going to want there and there. So I could put like a little pencil mark and then decorate on them. I guess that would be a way not to get confused as to where you're at with it. And then the layers are all pretty simple because the cubes all end up being 2 by 2, with the tower being 4 by 2. But because we're putting the 2 inch in the front, you're left with 2 inches left over. So all of our little squares are 2 by 2, which means the layers I'm putting on them are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then I'm using our designer series paper. And this is the one that's in the color families. And so I use the subtles. And these are 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And I needed 10. And then I needed 4 that are going to be for the word baby. And those are, excuse me, 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And there's 4 of them. For the inside of the card, this piece is 5 by 3 3/4. And then I use the scallop contour dies for this in the middle. So, excuse me, there's something caught in my throat today. When we go to put these together, I need adhesive. We're going to put either a strong adhesive or tear and tape just along this edge. And then I tend to pull them together like this and close it, because then I'm sure that once I put it together, it's going to lay flat because we need it to go into the envelope. So that would be one. And there's that one. Need to go over to the other side of the room and grab new tear and tape because this one's getting to the end of its roll. Excuse me. All right. So you have to kind of look at it and decide where you want the little flap to be. I tend to think it's going to be less visible if it's in the front, because when you're back here, when it's displayed, you can see that. So I think I'm going to put it to the front, and then I'm going to do the same with these. And so that's going to mount right there. And this one will go right there. And so we're going to put those on. Since tear and tape is way over there, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus. Oops. Ooh, that was not agreeing with me. Haven't used this one in a while. Apparently it doesn't want to come off the roller. All right, let's try this again. There we go. All right, so when I put this on, I'm going to make it flush with the bottom and that score line up the middle. So that's going to be one. Okay, that's the front. So I'm going to go here. Let's see. All right. So there's my base. Okay, that's the hard part. Everybody with me so far? Then what we're going to do is we're going to quickly put these together. I probably should have done some of this before I got online, because there are 10 of them. So did anybody go online and check out all the new online exclusives and what was on the clearance rack? In the past, what's been on the clearance rack has not hung out there for long. There's usually some really good deals. There was a pack of paper, kind of a foil paper. I want to say it was $2 or $3. It was really cheap. So it's definitely worth a look. And then that was the other sale that's going on, is if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, refill kits and past kits and the little add-on for the last kit are all 50% off, or up to 50% off. And my guess is them releasing all this stuff at once was in an effort to save us on shipping, because in the past, when we have complained that we wanted to order from the clearance rack and we wanted to order from the sale and we wanted the new products, we were having to pay the minimum shipping for each one. And in listening to our requests, they did that. They started releasing things on the same day, but it came up with a different problem in that shipping now is taking a little longer because, of course, they get slammed with a whole bunch of orders on that one day. Now, they have recently upgraded their software in the shipping facility, which is supposed to speed things along. And they are now aware that they get slammed when there's all of these major ship days. So I'm hoping, I would think, that they have hired some temps and have stocked the warehouse with some extra people so that they can keep on top of this shipping thing and not have the problem they had last time. Although last time in March, when they had that, was April 2nd, whatever day they released the online exclusive last time, or something released. Anyway, they had a really big sales day, and it was bigger. That one day was bigger than almost the whole prior month. So those kind of things are hard for them to predict. So they are doing their best. Because if they, order too much or hire too many, that's going to cost the company money, and they're not going to eat that. They're going to pass that expense on to us. So we appreciate them being frugal with their money so that our prices don't go up. But we also want them to ship quickly because we're anxious to get our fun new stuff, right? So I am placing these inside the cubes. Like I said, I needed to do it this way so I knew where they went. but you could choose to decorate it beforehand if you wish, before folding it all together. I am trying to make sure that my hearts go up and down. There is no right side up and upside down, but I do want them vertical. Luckily, I didn't have to worry about that when cutting because they are square. Okay, this one's hanging over a teensy bit. That's going to bug me. So didn't you do anything fun for 4th of July? Let me know in the comments what kind of fun things 4th of July had in store for you guys. My husband worked. He's a cabinet maker by trade, but over the years, his body's kind of broke down on him. He's had various injuries on the job. So his kind of semi-retirement, he's working at Lowe's. He gets to hang out at the hardware store all day. And he seems to really like it, and it is easier on his body. But that means that he works retail, which means that he works days that people normally would have off. Anybody remember the days when the stores used to actually close on holidays? My parents referred to it as they rolled up the sidewalks because just everything would be closed because they wanted people to be at home spending time with their family. All right, almost there. I apologize, I didn't have more of this together, but I guess this is giving you kind of almost a real-time gauge on how long this takes to put together. So it's actually going together rather quickly, I feel. Yeah, I miss those days when the stores were closed for holidays and stuff. I think I could go back to it now that everything's available online, but I guess it's hard to reel back in something that they've put out there like that. Okay, so I have my 1 1/4 inch squares, and these are going to be what I'm going to stamp onto. So I'm going to bring in my balmy blue ink and my stamps. I already have them mounted. These are clear photopolymer stamps, so you should be able to look straight down through the middle and see where it's landing. I showed you last time you may want to put a piece of colored cardstock behind it just because it would define the edges better so you know where your center is. And always looking straight down from the top onto it gives you the best alignment, because whenever you're looking from an angle, it's harder to center things up. Okay, one more. Okay, so I can set those over to clean. And get the ink out of the way so I don't dip my elbow in it. And then these are going to go on the front blocks. I guess I need one more set of squares. Okay, 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I need 12. Huh. Okay. So I do need to fix that. So EA. When I cut all of them, what I did first is I cut one big long strip. At the 1 3/4. And then I was able to bring it over this way and just cut off however many I needed. And this to me made it go faster than trying to do it one at a time. And these were 1 1/2. And I did these at 1 1/2 rather than having the DSP go all the way to the edge, making it the 1 3/4. I did the DSP at 1 1/2 because it is 6 inches wide. And by doing that, I got an even number of pieces all the way across, because 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2, that was 3 inches, and another 3 made 6. So it allowed me to chop up the whole 6 by 6 and not waste any DSP. Because the gal I got measurements from just did the DSP with 1 layer, but she was using a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, so it was different. I did this once before. If you're looking for a larger one, you can look on my YouTube channel. I did one several years ago that is larger and has pumpkins. It was kind of a fall version. It was really cute and very impressive when it all popped up. Ooh, I went the wrong way. Goodness. See, I cannot talk and do this at the same time. Okay, so I'm worrying I'm like being boring when I'm too quiet. So I ramble, and that makes me mess up. And this is why I used to pre-record every video I did and then edit like crazy. And you guys have said you actually like it when I make the mistakes because you get to see how I fix it. It's embarrassing for me, but I guess helpful to you. Undo is something that is an adhesive remover. It is safe to use on photos. I found this when I was scrapbooking, and it's kind of an alcohol-based remover. And so it makes the paper dry quicker. If you heat it with the heat tool, it will dissolve really quickly. And then when you do that and it's dried, it actually allows you to reuse the glue that's on there. Now this piece over here is a little sticky, and so I don't want to close it until I've had a chance to clean it up. And so that's where the adhesive remover comes in. And this is just a little piece of rubber that you rub onto the paper, and it will pull off the adhesive. So you could choose to either do that, or we could peel the whole thing off and just put a new piece on, which might be faster for me. Goodness. Okay. There we go. We're going this way. Back on track. Yes, Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A are definitely closed on Sundays because they're Christian-run companies. So I'm hoping my little mistakes give you guys a little more confidence, knowing that it's okay to make mistakes. They are fixable. It's all in the matter of trying. I actually was trying to do something the other day, really got it messed up. I often find something on Pinterest or YouTube and it's done in a foreign language, and I needed to recreate the measurements, or maybe they did it as a 6x6. So I will take a piece of cardstock that, often I'll use retired colors, but something that, I'm not worried about, and just kind of practice on it and make a template. See, because after I got, see, all my score lines are all over the place. Once I finally got what I wanted, I just wrote on the back. I put a pen mark where each of the things should fold, and then wrote my measurements. And so now when I go to make the next one and do it in front of you guys, I won't look like an idiot. But I digress. The idea is I want you guys to be brave and try things out, because you will be surprised at what kind of things you can come up with and give to others that will really be appreciated at the other end. And so that's why I'm always trying to give you guys tips and tricks and ways to make things easier so you can be more self-confident, and so that it can be a relaxing hobby. Stamping is not meant to be stressful. This is what I do to unwind. No, it was in the craft section at our Dollar Tree. It's also available on my website. I do have a link to it where it's available to purchase on Amazon, but I think it's a couple dollars. But it's still worth it. I think when Stampin' Up sold them, they might have even been $5, but it was like so worth it because I have had the same one since the 90s. Made the pinwheel card for a friend. I'd have to see which pinwheel. Did you take any pictures of it before you sent it off? Because I've done a couple pinwheels. Not sure which one you mean. But if it's something I have not done, I'd be more than happy to do it. If you guys find something online and, like I said, like they're in a foreign language, or they're, all in metric, or you just didn't understand the instructions well, I would love it if you guys would send me a link, because I'm always looking for what I can show you guys. And I feel like that's why the box card was a different size. This is a different size. I feel like I'm running full circle. You've seen it all. And I know that's not true, but that's the way I feel. So if you have pictures of something you want me to recreate, please send them to me. Okay, so for this one, I just put, I think this is 3/4 of an inch. 7/8. But what I did when I put this in here is this is 3 3/4 wide. And then I wanted it to be right at the edge. So I guess it could be an inch, but mine is 7/8 because when the card is all closed, I wanted this to stick out and be colored, and then you would pull it to reveal the message. In order for them to know to pull it, you can use a stamp or a punch or a piece of cardstock. Oftentimes I will take something, maybe put it on there, this piece on first before doing the crosswise, and then this would be a pull tab. On this one, I actually used our little retired 1/8" punch and punched a hole, and then I fed this ribbon through it. And I know you're looking at me going, but that ribbon retired. Well, it did, but it's on the clearance rack. So you actually still can get this beautiful ribbon, and it's discounted. So like all the more reason you should run over there and grab some. It's just really pretty. It's got some glitter on it, and it's white, so it matches everything. When the glitter that's in the ribbon, when it was on the pink card, it kind of picked up the pink hues, and when it's on the blue one, it picks up the blue hues. It's just really nice. That's our glittered organdy ribbon. So I just stuck the two ends through there and made a loop. And then that's ready to stick in here. And then I wrapped the second piece, around the front in order to make the belly band. Oops. Come on. I'm cheating because I don't want to have to tie a perfect bow again. So I'm sliding it off and on. But you could untie and retie to put it on. But there we have a baby girl and a baby boy. Oh, I might know the one you're talking about. Almost like this one, but a tower. Yes, please send me pictures, but I think I know the one you're talking about. Because I looked at it thinking it was like bigger on the bottom and it got smaller as it went up, because I thought it kind of looked like a cake and would go well with the beautiful balloons. Yeah, beautiful balloons. That was our birthday set. So that's today's card. I apologize I didn't have layers glued together. I do have the cards I'm doing next week. Sorry, I pushed them out of the way because I needed to clean my desk in order to work with what we're doing today. I did do 6 cards, so there's going to be a tutorial that will have all 6 that I'm working on. But the 2 that we're going to do for the lives is I'm going to do this one and show you how we created this wood look with an embossing folder and ink. And then we're going to do this one that looks like a chicken coop or a hen house. So come back on Monday and we will be doing this one. And then we're going to do the second one on Thursday. And there will be a tutorial for all 6. So when you do buy tutorials off the website, I've had a couple people miss the fact that after you submit payment, it redirects you to a page where you can download it. And so you should just kind of stick around until it processes and then download it right away. Or it should send you an email. And then in that email is a link, the receipt will show what you purchased. And the The name of the thing should be a hyperlink that would take you to the website where you can go download it. If you create an account on my website, it will hold everything kind of in storage for you, so you can log on anywhere and go re-download it at any time. So, wow, that was weird. The cameras like switched all on their own. So we're ready to spin the wheel and see who wins Prize Patrol. Everybody should be entering hashtag Prize Patrol, everybody who's live. And from that, I have the computer collecting names in the background. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to see who today's winner is. And you will be getting one of these cards. You would let me know whether you want the baby boy or the baby girl. And I will pop that in the mail. So let's remove this one, add this one, and then give the wheel a spin. Congratulations, Carol. You are today's winner. You would want to pop on over to my website, queenbeecreations.net, and then up there in the address bar, add /prize patrol to the end, and it will redirect you to a Google form where you can give me your mailing address so I know where to send it off to. So congratulations, Cheryl. Thank you to everyone who joined me and made comments and liked the video. And I appreciate everyone who shares it with your friends. All of those things are very helpful to me, and I so appreciate it. And if you have any questions or would like to place an order or just want to show me something you want to learn, let me know. I'm here to help. Thanks. Bye.